Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Stud and Dud presented by the Dallas School of Music. Thank you all for listening. I'm Josh Smith. With me each week, Dr. Bob Lawrence. What's up, Doc?
I'm here. I'm ready. I'm rested. Ready for an hour of fun, my friend.
That's right. That's right. You got a big weekend ahead, which we'll get into in a minute.
Big weekend.
Got to. I mean, cannot wait to talk about that. I mean, got a lot of football to talk about today. On tap. First, you're going to go off. And what's up, Doc?
Dude, let me tell you I'm going to go off.
I hope so. Then it's recap, review, predict in college football. I like that little. I was trying to think of recycle, reduce, reuse. I couldn't think of a third R, so I just said recap. I should say predict it for my third one there. Speaking of previews, because then it led me to the next segue. The NFL season officially underway last night with a sleeper of sleepers.
Duck Bears.
Duck Bears and Duck Packers went at it.
Bears.
And then we'll have Super Bowl predictions. We got to go over those today. We got 2 predictions to go over. We got to go out. I mean, come on. There's not many teams. Unfortunately, there's really not a lot of parity, so I don't think there's going to be some surprise team. If there is, it's going to surprise me.
Right.
It really will this year.
Right. You're going to want to hear my pick because, my baseball pick is starting to look really...
I know, right? And that's when you want it to look good, toward the end of the season.
Yeah, my baseball pick's starting to look real good.
Yeah, oh yeah. All right, well, we blew through it last week, so we'll dive kind of back into the fantasy football draft, kind of go over our players again, and then a coveted Sutter Dud segment. I'm going to go a little bit off on a former Dud who's now probably joined the Dud of Fame.
Okay.
Anyway, but first... let's pray for the Bahamas. We didn't talk about it last week. I knew it was coming because here's what's crazy. 2 weeks ago, I'm in Florida, right? Right now, 2 weeks ago in Florida is my last day. Let's cry about it. But anyway, 2 weeks ago, I'm in Florida. It was like Tuesday, Wednesday-ish, though, when they were saying in the next 5 to 7 days, we're looking for this tropical, I think at the time it was depression, or it's going to form a tropical depression. It's funny they call it depression. But anyway, this little area that we're talking, they're looking at this little depression. It's going to form a tropical depression. Probably going to eventually become category 1, 2, don't know where, and they were kind of showing where it might go. You get my right then and there. You already have early inklings that something's, and they were already they were waiting for one big storm this year because nothing's really happened. Nothing really, anyway. Especially the ones from last year, Michael that went through Mexico Beach, Panama City area there in Florida. I forgot about that because that was the day before my wedding, or 2 days before. I think it happened October 11th. Was when landfall was, but that just decimated them, and they're still recovering. Anywho, let's fast forward to 2 weeks ago, I'm in Florida. I'm like, wow, 5 to 7, and they were right on it because then a week later, like right now, as in a week ago, right now, when we're talking.
Right.
I almost called it an F5, but a hurricane category 4 or 5 was already on its, I think it was like 3 at the time, maybe, or 4, but it was really amping up. And obviously, those 2 islands. Abaco Island, and then you've got Grand Bahama Island. But man, I mean, because I just went there literally, it was like, it's a 45-minute flight they said in a helicopter. So I forgot roughly how many miles away it is. Probably, I would imagine 50 to 100, somewhere in there from where Nassau is, the main island where capital is, where everyone, where most, Atlantis is, where Baja Mar is, where I went. Thank gosh it didn't. I mean, imagine going through all those little bitty islands that we visited. I mean, they would have been just plowed over. The pig island that we went to, imagine those poor pigs.
Yeah, right.
I mean, what happens to all that kind of stuff? And then,
well, dude, you're on an island in the middle of the
no
ocean.
Wind, yeah. You might, I mean, if you can, I don't know what your means are and how you can because we don't know. We don't live there. But if you have any ferry to take to get out of there and get to a bigger mainland, because it isn't that far, Nassau. It's like, I'm just going to Nassau for the weekend. They should have. You get my point. Take it Friday over to Nassau and say, I'm done. Whatever happens over at home, it happens. Because now you look at the pictures, I mean, it literally looks like the biggest bomb they make now, whatever it is, they literally just set it off right there on those islands. Back in the day, remember when you saw the atom bomb, they detonate them up. Right. I remember back in the day, I had one of those huge posters, probably the size of this TV, when I was in college, of one of those ones they detonated off. Right. It's a huge famous photo, and it has the island in the background. But yeah, you get because it's just stuff everywhere.
It's sad, it's awful, but at the same time, right? When you live in areas,
you've got to move. And those people that do stay, I mean, I guess just hey, we're going to wait because I even was watching videos earlier. Someone had to get to their attic. And they're watching the waves. They're in their attic, and they're seeing because half their house is pretty much blown away, and they're literally just watching the waves.
Yeah.
One poor guy watched a sad story. Older gentleman, same thing. They tried to wait it out in Grand Bahama Island, somewhere around the Freeport area, and his wife died.
Look,
I mean, and watched his wife drown. Right? You know what I mean?
Right.
And then had to get out. Luckily, they had a boat, and it just so.
It's awful. And you know what? You know what a lot of those people are going to do? They're going to rebuild. Right there.
Right there, and stay right there.
Right. So I grew up on the Mississippi River.
Yeah.
Every year, the Mississippi River does what?
It's going to flood,
it
probably.
Floods.
Yeah.
People build their homes right on the shores of the Mississippi River. Every year, it floods.
Yeah.
And every year, they show tragic pictures of the houses being, right? It's sad, right?
Yeah.
But I want to say, dude.
Oh, I know. Trust me, I know. Like,
come on, man.
Yeah.
Right? If you build a house beneath an active volcano,
You don't see anyone doing that.
you're rolling the dice.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they have those towns right below, close to them. But yes, exactly. You're like, hey, you are rolling the dice. You're like, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful, man.
But hey, it's like my parents for the longest time, like, hey, let's move down to Florida. But man, just that chance of me even moving down to Florida, and then now every year you're just going, is it gonna happen? Even though you want to enjoy your life, but you're going.
Of course, if you live in the middle of Kansas, good chance tornadoes.
You might get hit by a tornado.
Pretty good chance.
Yeah.
So, but nevertheless,
Yes.
that being said,
it's
sad.
just see the devastation is just it's beyond me to see what, obviously, because it's not that big. Yeah, it's not big of an island. So when you just imagine, that's what I was thinking the whole time I was telling Avery watching it. Like,
the worst thing you have to complain about here is traffic.
Right.
You don't have to worry about.
I know.
Right.
And that has to enlighten your day. You have to have that enlighten your day if you live
Come on,
here.
man.
Anyone that gets to a little rage like me,
traffic.
you've got to think about that and go, man, I could have been washed, because there's hundreds missing still.
Well, that's
I mean,
right.
you could have been washed away. Essentially.
So now, how do you feel complaining about traffic?
Hey,
how do you
that's
feel
what I'm
about
telling
now?
you, man.
Huh?
I can flip the switch. I can be happy.
All right.
You see what I'm saying?
All right.
But yes, it's terrible.
Poor Josh behind traffic.
Oh,
My wife just got washed out into the sea, but, but Josh is complaining about traffic.
They show that guy that has and then he goes to Josh. What a day in Dallas! Let me tell you.
Yeah, Josh goes, you think you had a bad day losing your wife?
Everyone watching me on TV goes, that jackass. God. All right, but yeah, just pray for them, love them, support them, give donations if you can. I'm definitely going to give as little bit of money as I can, even though it won't be much. I'm sure even $20. You got to imagine how long $20 goes for water wipe. Because imagine that's what I'm thinking. Where are they pooping and peeing right now?
Well, I don't want to think about that.
Well, I did, and I'm like going, hey, you know what? They have no running water. They have no toilets for sure. They're washed away.
I can tell you, I thought about a lot of things, Josh.
I know, but where are they showering? You know what I'm saying?
I didn't think about them pooping or.
I'm just saying, just think about all the things that they have to now go through that we're not thinking about. I was just starting. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Just they're going through stuff that we're not even like. Yeah, where are they showering? Where's the food at now? Because now all the food's been washed away. They're waiting for.
Yeah.
So $20, $10, people, I know it sounds goofy, but donate $5 if you can.
Right.
Imagine $5, how far that's going to go when it's rationed up the way they ration things out.
Right.
Especially, when it comes to relief stuff. I mean,
you want me to give up my McDonald's lunch?
yes. Today you can starve a little for the Bohemians.
Oh, man.
All right. So still, speaking of which, I had to get over there, right? With what? A passport. Remember we sent off Avery's over a month ago now? Still waiting for the damn thing to get back. I did, luckily, with the one good system we have, you can do like a locator where you put in her name or whatever in it. Yes, we received your passport on 8/12, so they're processing it, which is good. They got it. That's a good thing. So now we know they got it. They're processing it. We're waiting for it to get back, but I just thought it was funny. So a month later, here we are. I'm like, can you not just go boom, bam, shrimp, trumps in it?
No,
I know.
you can't do that.
Not anymore. Gardner, let's get to him. You're talking about going to where this weekend? Where are you leaving later today?
Heaven on earth, my friend.
Well, for you, maybe.
Heaven.
If they had a beach there, if they had a beach on one side and then a mountain on the other side, now that would be heaven on earth.
You can't find that in Indiana, man.
Yeah, no.
That ain't going to happen in Indiana.
No. There's only a few places in the world where you're seeing that.
Yeah, not in South Bend, Indiana is not
still
it.
Beautiful stadium, though, right?
Beautiful campus. Probably one of the prettiest campuses in the country.
It's when you have that type of history. You know what I mean? They've been
Yes.
around forever and they've been building it. It's not like it's been around for 20, 30. I mean, you talk about 100 plus. I don't even know when it was first established. I know a long time ago.
Yeah.
Because it's crazy.
So
1920, my point made, is 100 years ago now.
So we will be under the Golden Dome tonight at the University of Notre Dame.
So y'all, do you know what's planned for him up there and for you?
Yeah, well, we go into Chicago today, then drive to South Bend the rest of the way. We are staying there right on campus at the university. He has baseball tryouts tomorrow starting at, I think, like 8:15, 8 o'clock in the morning.
There you go.
All day thing. But I'm looking forward to, at the end, they're inviting the parents along with the athletes that they've invited for a on-campus tour of the sports facilities, meeting the coaches.
That's what I figured you'd get to do.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So looking forward to doing that.
That's cool. With your son, you and your son, you're like, look, and he's never been, I would imagine.
Oh no, he's been to Notre Dame.
Oh, he has, okay.
But not officially, like.
So he's been to a game there?
Yeah, not to a football game, but him and Tam. He was actually, when he was competing up in Milwaukee as a gymnast. Back when he was in 8th grade, they went through Notre Dame, visited the campus. So he's been there, but this is going to be a special time for him because of the baseball experience. So.
Oh, yeah, that and I mean,
And
it's,
football. And
yeah, just kind of everything.
the whole
getting that
campus
tour, being
life,
with-
yeah.
it's kind of be more glamour, glitz and
Yeah.
glamour now,
And
especially now because he is playing baseball. There, he wasn't really, you know what I'm saying? Where
Yeah.
this is really more for him.
And so for us too, as being Catholics, we'll be able to enjoy Mass tomorrow, Sunday at the Basilica there on campus, which is
Wow.
absolutely
I didn't think about that. That's
gorgeous.
pretty cool.
Yeah, man.
So have you ever been to church there?
Yes, I have.
Has he?
Yeah.
So they all both have.
Yeah, we
Okay.
both have. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, but
I didn't know if it was
but
first
we
time
have
for
not
both of
been
you.
together.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Have y'all
not,
been okay?
no,
So
no, not
yeah.
together. No, not together. So
Good.
So it's looking good, man. And of course, I'll have to visit the bookstore.
You got to.
I'm just saying.
And campus will be primed and packed. I know, obviously. And when we looked at it last week, the games actually, they have a bye week this week.
They do have a bye week.
Regardless, though, it's still going to be jamming and slamming. You're going to see tons of people. He's going to see what campus life once again is about. He went to where? Last weekend.
Yeah, University of Alabama.
I mean, are you
So,
kidding me?
arch rivals,
I mean, just two massive, big campuses back to back. Great in athletics.
Yes.
So.
What a little punk, right?
Well, that's the life of or a high school kid that's pretty good at what he plays, and they're gonna hey, that's the thing. That's why those, once again, back to money. They have tons of money because they're bringing it in. So now what they can do now, they can go, oh hey, not even a recruit, hey prospect,
right?
Because they haven't offered him.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
it's not really a recruit yet.
Right.
I mean, I guess in a way, but they are kind of recruiting him.
Correct.
But he's more of a prospect.
An official invite has not been.
Yeah, you get my point. So that's just crazy. They go, hey, come on up and we're gonna take you around the campus and show you around.
Yeah. So last night, man, he was at the batting cages and he was hitting late last night, about 10 o'clock. He gets done hitting, and he's picking up some balls, and he looks over, and I'm holding the bat down at my home plate, and he goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "Come on, man, throw me a couple. I want to take a couple swings." He goes, "Why?" I said, "I want to see if the old man still has it."
Yeah, come on, man.
Come on, man.
Well, let's look a little competition here. Let me see what you got. Let's see if I can hit it.
So I took a couple swings.
And?
I don't have it.
Okay.
Well,
have you done it lately,
I made some
though?
contact, but it feels, I'll tell you what, man, if you have not swung a bat in a while, you pick up a bat and you step into the box.
Oh, yeah.
It looks real natural when you see guys that know how to swing.
Yeah.
But if you haven't done it in a while, man, it's like holding a 2x4 trying to hit a little round object. You know?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. It's the same with golf to me. I mean, you don't play it in a while. You're going to get out there and you're going to.
Right. Like Willie, Hall of Famer Willie Stargell said, they give you a round bat, they throw you a round ball, and they tell you to square it up.
Right.
Good luck.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Now, it's one thing if you're like probably, I don't want to go back for the Griffeys or the Trouts of the world. You lay a bat down for a year or two, I'm sure you can pick it up and still hit.
Oh, well, yeah, sure.
But the normal average
With their
person,
elite
you lay even a basketball down. I'll go out to the gym, probably shoot a 3 and be an air ball. I'll be like, ooh, whoa. Or just throw it over completely throw it over.
Right. Yeah. Your mind's thinking that you can still do it.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, you feel like you're looking good, and everyone's looking. It's like those music videos where you're singing really good, or you're dancing, and then but what the person sees, you're like, whoa. You're out there like, yeah, what? And the other person's looking at you like, is that dude special? Like, hey, Josh, you all right?
You are right, exactly.
Is that a dance? Like, you having a seizure over there? What is that move you're doing?
That's exactly right, man.
Before I forget,
yes,
got some new kicks on to continue the tradition. We got the Broncos playing Monday Night Football, so I had to throw it out.
Again, I got my
matching right. Look at the color coordinations.
Come on, man!
Here.
I'm looking good.
Yeah, I just want to throw it out there. I'm going to keep up the shoes until I run out of them. I didn't bring
which
it up
will
last
be
week.
never.
Well, no. Eventually, that's why I can't wait till there's an official show where I've worn every shoe. And then I'm not going to keep buying shoes unless I guess I could go like Walmart and just get like $10 shoes every week. Yeah, $10 not bad. That's not a Walmart shoe. That's like Target shoe. What would you get? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, man. I wouldn't do that.
No.
I'm at least a Target guy. Come on, man.
Yeah, right. No, literally, it's Under Armour. You can't get Under Armour at Target. Maybe you can. I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't shop at Target. You know who does?
Who does?
My wife.
Well, there you go.
They've got, what I've noticed though too, women's clothing can be sold not all the way down. I hate to say Walmart. Point being, it can be. You can make clothes, and I've noticed this. There's so much women because I hate it. It's funny. I shop for my wife. I'll see so much stuff that that's cute. Oh, that's cute. Oh, that's cute. But then you go to the guy section. I'm like, what is this? Yeah, and it's never as big.
Right.
So that's why women can shop at Target, and they do, and I love it. I'm like, where'd you get that? I'm like, Target. I'm like, wow, Target's got a lot of cute stuff.
Yeah.
They do, really. But, I mean, especially it's crazy how Target's really, you know what I mean? When I grew up, Target was almost like it's like a nicer one, but now they're like, hey.
Target's kind of up their game a little bit.
Oh, yeah, they're a little uppity.
Yeah,
we should have that show one day. The show of the marts. We got Walmarts, the Targets, Kmart's. You don't see Kmart's that often anymore.
Kmart's kind of gone.
It is kind of gone. We got Sears.
Kmart just kind of faded into the sunset.
Yeah, Sears, because Sears kind of does it all. They don't do groceries,
they're
but
going on the way out too, right?
they slowly but surely are. I mean, Best Buy, people are saying that too, even though they're trying to keep up with the game. That's the thing. It's so hard.
Listen, all of them are having a difficulty because of Amazon. There's
online shopping.
There's no
period.
Period.
Yeah, exactly. But yes, just want to get all that in real quick before we get to what you want to talk about.
Oh my God.
What's up, Doc?
You want to do that now?
Gotta get right into it.
All right, dude. I got a couple things. One is I can't find it right now on the article.
On the web?
Yeah, I can't find it on the web.
What's the internet?
You okay, this Janelle, did you read this morning? Janelle, she used to be a sportscaster for ESPN or writer for ESPN.
Remember her and I didn't like her not. Janelle? No, she was with Smith. So was it Smith?
Look her up, man. You're faster at this technology.
All right, so what happened?
Technology stuff. She came out with a book and an article claiming, and then we're going to talk about the R word, man, race.
Yep. Janelle Hill.
Janelle Hill. Look her up, man.
Jamel Hill.
Janelle.
I thought it was Janelle too, but it's Jamel Hill. Call for black athletes to leave white colleges.
Ooh, listen to that, man. Read that again. Call for what?
Yeah.
Black athletes to leave what?
White colleges. Draws charges of pro-segregation and racism. This is an article. Yeah, this is just multiple articles that are, exactly. And here the article is titled, it's an article. It's time for black athletes to leave white colleges.
It's ridiculous.
I can't even. She writes that mostly white schools' multi-billion-dollar revenues have been built on the exertions of uncompensated and that's the thing. I'm tired of this. We're not going to pay athletes.
Well, you know what
So Tim Tebow. What about Tim Tebow? So he won multiple Heismans and won Florida how many championships? I'm not going to get into this whole race thing anyway.
Well, it's ridiculous that this is even brought up.
Well, and I'm just tired of that. And
this is nuts.
Yeah, and I'm tired of the whole uncompensated athletes. I don't even like to bring color into this because it's stupid. I'm not even going to say the cuss word.
We always have to bring race into it.
Yes, I don't. Like last week, and I brought it up to Avery when we left home, or when I got home, about the whole the class thing and how too many Asians and too many white people. I'm like, oh, just because Asians like to go to school and love school and like to be smart,
right?
And it's not even a thing that they don't want to be smart. They just they want those accomplishments.
Of course,
who doesn't want to be? Even though some people don't want to be, but you get my point.
Right.
Anyway. Wow. Can't believe it. That is wow.
This is really, if I were a black person, I'd be very upset that she's even making these accusations. Talk about throwing gasoline on a fire.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And you know what? Let's go a step further. How about this? How about remove athletics from universities altogether? Aren't they academic institutions?
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Right? How about that? How about we just eliminate all athletics altogether?
Yeah. Be fine with me. They can just create minor type leagues for every
major
program.
There you go. And let's leave academics then academics.
Yeah, I'd be fine with
this
that.
This is ridiculous. The claim that the institutions were built on the back of black athletes.
Yeah, especially however long. I don't know. I haven't looked into this. She thinks it's forever, or at least over the past 20, 30 years.
It's just a dumb argument. It's a dumb thing to say.
Yeah, and to say go and leave white colleges and then uncompensated.
What white colleges are there? Tell me.
I don't even know because I don't care to look into who's got. And I guess if she did, she'd go into Texas, Arkansas, Oklahoma, the majority, or not majority because a majority is over 50%, so it probably isn't majority anymore. But 46% is white. So
does Arkansas say they're a white university?
No, they don't say. They don't even mention that.
Universities say they're a white university.
I don't know exactly.
Are there black universities? Yes.
I mean, we call them that, I guess.
And that's what they call them.
Yeah, exactly. I don't. Just go to college. Go to a university, as they call, especially they call it in Canada when you hear shows like you going to university. Like I'd watch a show Degrassi with Avery. I'm like, does that mean college? But they call them university. Like over in Europe, they don't call them colleges for the most. They're universities. But yes, exactly. I don't get it. It makes no sense to me.
If a college has mostly Asian students, is it an Asian university?
I know, right?
If a college has mostly Muslim students, is it a Muslim university? What?
Yeah, I don't. Right there.
Right? Is it really?
I'm just tired of the compensation thing too.
Right. So that's
getting paid. They're getting paid. They're you know how much money they're getting per semester, and they're getting free meal. Essentially, all the audio. They're getting a free scholarship. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They're getting how much? You know how much that costs for them, a normal person, to go to school?
Yes.
That's free. So, that's essentially getting paid. That's getting paid
Yeah.
for. So that's them paying for that,
The
plus them getting paid.
So I guess the bottom line is what bothers me about this is, first of all, we all have to stop talking about race like this.
And here's what's funny, and I've said this forever. Gonna notice that if and when, 2 words, you ever stop talking about something, that's when it'll go away.
Right.
Names of the world.
Well,
Jose Canseco. You talk about him, but you don't then. Lindsay Lohan, remember Lindsay Lohan? That was just Paris Hilton's of the world.
Right.
When they were the girls out in there,
right.
all of a sudden they fade off. You stop talking about them, follow them, paparazzi.
Right.
Then guess what?
Right.
No one's even bringing their name.
Right.
No one even says their
Exactly.
name.
But, it's about time we start looking at people based on their character and who they are.
Yeah, just as a person.
As a person.
Yes.
Just as a person. Let's stop defining people.
Because that's how I do judge people. If you're going to start bringing race into thing, that's how I'm going to judge you.
Well,
you almost are a racist. If you're going to say then you're a racist.
When
If
we
you're going to
start-
bring, if she obviously is a racist, if she's bringing race that big into a thing, she's saying don't go to a white college, go to a black college. That's
Correct.
racist.
That's racist.
Even if you don't want to admit it, you have certainly some racism in you if you're saying that. I don't care what any, like all the, I say this all the time to Avery.
Segregation.
Yeah.
It's go back to segregation.
And that's what they brought up. And my point is, I always live my life, but me and Avery, that's it. My dogs, my family. That's all I worry about. I mean, I worry about you and my friends, but I'm not, Doc, did you wipe your butt today? Doc, what are you doing? Doc, here's my life on Instagram and Facebook. Oh, you don't, and then getting in your family's life or getting in. Let them live their life.
Right. And listen,
why do you want to be so judgy?
Yeah.
Let them be.
And here's the reality that everybody has to come to. There are always going to be folks that, did you ever see, were you a Star Trek fan?
Star Trek?
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen it with like Spock and.
Right. Well, back in Star Trek, in the original, the TV series
Yeah.
Star Trek, there's an episode.
What's his name? The main guy.
Captain Kirk.
Yeah,
man.
but who's he played by?
Yeah, I know.
Shatner.
yeah,
William Shatner. There you
right.
go. Yeah.
There's an episode. Now, you got to keep in mind, this is like in the 70s.
Oh, yeah.
Right? In the 70s. And they visited a planet. Star Trek visited a planet where people were half black and half white. Okay, but now here's the deal. They were half black and half white right down the middle.
They weren't like the mixed kind that you really would see.
So this person is white on this side from the nose over, right? And then black on the left side. So on the right side, black on the left side. And then there were a group of people who were black on the right side and white on the left side.
Huh.
And they hated each other.
Ah. That little difference.
Because you weren't black on the right side.
Yeah.
Or you weren't white on the right side.
Yeah.
That they were making the point in the 70s, basically saying, stop it.
Yeah.
How nuts it is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just stop it. And this kind of stuff does not help
at all. It just amplifies those gasoline to the fire.
That's exactly my point. So anyway, that's my first up, Doc. What's up, Doc? My second what's up, Doc, is what's your take on the a female place kicker in the NFL?
To have one or not have one?
Yes.
Stop
it. Stop it.
A kicker?
Stop it.
But it's a kicker.
Stop it.
It's a kicker.
Stop it.
See, I'm the kind of NFL
Stop
player that's
it.
like a kicker's not an athlete.
Stop.
It doesn't have to do much.
Stop.
It kicks.
Let boys play.
I know, but
let girls play.
Have you seen some of those kickers though?
Stop.
They're like 5'7". My wife's bigger than some kickers in the NFL.
Oh, just stop.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
the only thing.
Why does everything?
The only reason I wouldn't be for that is because it will lead holes to having. Well, why can't we play running back? Why can't we play fullback? Why can't
I'm not for it at all. Period.
I'm not against it because kickers aren't. To me, they aren't.
You're missing the point.
But to me, I'm that old school player. You will see those players.
You're missing the point.
I'm not, because kickers to me aren't a real athlete. They're not a real. They're the only thing they do is they help.
Tell that to a kicker.
I know, right? And
He'd kick your ass.
No, he wouldn't. He would literally kick it, but that's about it. They're all about 5'7" and 140.
No,
I would hold him with my arm out. Are you kidding me, Doc? These guys are not big. I looked it up before. I think the biggest kicker ever was like my size.
Okay,
literally.
Just stop it.
They're not big. They're little dudes.
Just leave it alone.
So I wouldn't care. I wouldn't, honestly. I'd laugh. I'd be like, man, this is awesome. Girls are taking guys' jobs because these guys. Point being, I don't care. I really don't. I really don't. Now, if it leads to other holes in the NFL, because that's the thing it's going to do, it will. But I don't care, because kickers, the only thing they do, and the only reason I want kicking to stay, they're going to get rid of kickoffs, right? Kickoffs are about to be done, which I can't stand because
I can't wait for a female kicker, and then the guys get to slap her on the ass when she gets a field goal, and then oh my God,
there you go.
Oh my God, you can't do that.
That's
you can't do that. You can.
But my point is these girls can kick just as far as men.
So
they can kick.
That's fine. Let them on, and they get slapped on the ass.
I know. But I'm just saying they're doing away with kickoffs, and they've even talked about doing away with which they just should never do because it saves so many games. I love kickoffs. They're going to do away with kickoffs eventually because of safety issues. They are. I know they are. I know it.
Just have a girls' NFL, man.
Well, that'd be cool. We've already talked about this.
Just have a girls' NFL.
TNFL.
Right? Just
WNFL.
Please, can't we just do that, please?
Well,
girls' NFL.
We do have
girls
fantasy. It's called Fantasy Lingerie League or something like that. It's a fantasy arena it's arena football league for girls.
Awesome.
They have it.
Fantastic.
There you go.
Fantastic.
There you go.
I'm
anyway,
all for it.
I think it's hilarious.
It's ridiculous.
It is pretty ridiculous. It's just like doing
it's silly.
It's just the world.
It's silly.
Unfortunately, that we're moving toward.
It's silly.
Everything's going to be up for the debate. Everything. And then that's what just makes it worse because then in the end. It's so contradictory. Just to get off this real quick, everyone wants you to accept them, right? The world we live in now. Accept me because I'm transgender. Accept me because I have whatever. Accept me because I'm black.
Accept you because you're a Bronco fan. Whatever.
Exactly. But then in the end, we all hate each other. We want each other to accept you, but then you're blah, blah, blah. Oh, you're a Bronco fan. Oh, you're black. Oh, you're a white racist. Oh, you like math, so you're an Asian. And you see how the world we live in? It's so weird. We want everyone to accept each other. Oh, accept me, accept me, accept me. But then all of a sudden we're pointing. I'm like, that's why I wish everyone was more like me and just didn't care about. Just live your own life. Live your own life. Worry about you. You need to be successful. Quit worrying and try to tear other people down. Just that's the world we live in, though.
But you don't make. Listen. When it gets to the point to where you can't have an all boys activity or you can't have an all girls activity.
Because everyone's got to be. That's my point. Because then everyone's got to be.
Oh my God.
Equal. But then everyone's like, no. You're black. You're Asian and you're too smart. No, you're a Bronco. It's like, why can't we all just get along? That's all I want. It's never gonna happen. It's like it's the weirdest thing to me. I just don't get it. The world we live in. I've seen it since about 10 years ago when we started moving to the LGBT community, and then the women, the whole us and don't slap me, and I want to be treated fairly now, and don't be talking to me a certain way. Then always the white and black situation. Now Asians are too smart. I mean, it's like, what? I don't get it. It's just so weird. It got to be accepting. Everyone needs to accept me for who I am, and then it's, oh, this is true. This is wrong. Just blows my mind. That's why I'm like, you see what I'm saying? That's why I worry about me. I don't try to see it because, you see. I try to think about Bohemians and going, man, where are they pooping at? All right, so anyway, recap, review, predict, baby.
I hope they're pooping in the right place.
That's
because
right,
if they're not pooping in the right place.
I'm telling you, they better have just made one big circle. All right, A block A over here, that is the urinal. A block B, the pooper. I better not see you outside those areas.
That's right.
All right, let's recap, review, predict. Recap last week, college football, finally, a little breath of fresh air, can't even talk. Because to me, this time of the year in baseball, it's kind of starting to heat up now, but to me, it really builds when you have that football. Because now, baseball for you is heating up, which I know a lot of baseball fans love.
October's around the corner.
That's what I'm saying. You're in the last full month of regular season, and now the NFL's underway, the college football's underway. So it's, to me, and the summer is so hot, you're about to start cooling down. I can't even say it. A breath of fresh air. There we go. Anyway, recap week one. How about this? 2 teams scored 79 points last week. Only way you can do that is with 10 touchdowns and a safety. Or with multiple weird field. But because 10 touchdowns, 77. No, actually 11 touchdowns. Yeah, 11 touchdowns and a safety. Because 10 touchdowns, 70. Obviously 7 times 10. 11 touchdowns. Are you kidding me? That's 11 touchdowns. I didn't look into the whole breakdown of the scores, but 79 points. 2 teams scored. Awesome. It's crazy.
I love that. Maryland
blast Howard 79-0, and then Penn State destroyed Idaho 79-7. Number one, and the one ranked matchup last week. Did you watch? Did you even watch because you were at home.
Yeah.
Did you watch any of the college football at all last weekend?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I did watch the end of the Auburn SEC. Auburn SEC. Obviously, I'm so SEC.
It's week
driven.
one. Week one is great, but all the teams are getting their legs.
Exactly. But I'm just saying we had the one ranked matchup, which was nice to see. It was a close game too.
This
27-26.
This week
we got a couple of good matchups.
We got some good games.
Well, let's finish the recap.
Okay.
Recap?
All right.
Recap.
Hogs
Hogs only win by 7. Hogs look terrible.
What high school they play?
Yeah, exactly. Portland State, and they only won by 7. Portland State High School, and they only won by 7. It was terrible.
Portland State High School.
There
They
you
got
go.
a good program.
They do.
Portland State's got a good program.
Yeah, they do. I heard about it. I read it in the magazine. But Notre Dame, nice win on the road Monday night. It was a good Monday night game.
Nice win.
Nothing, great. But Louisville's always got talent.
Listen,
You can't discount
Louisville's
Louisville.
always got talent. Notre Dame could have. I don't like Notre Dame for. They just. Notre Dame needs to run up the score. That 79-0
Yeah.
thing.
You need a couple of those to get you some ranking points.
They need to stop. They need to stop sitting on it at the end. They should have just put the explanation point in on. Man, got the score up into the 40s. I hate that.
Yeah. Alabama.
If I see Coach Kelly when I'm up there this weekend, I'm going to mention that to him.
Are you?
Yeah, I am. I'm going to say, Coach, listen, man.
Run it up.
You see what Clemson's doing?
Yeah.
You see what Alabama's doing?
Yep.
Come on, man.
You see what Penn State did last week at Idaho? 79-7 in
Come
their
on,
rank.
Coach.
I want 70 on the board this week.
Come on.
Or next week when y'all play trash high school.
They play New Mexico. It better be 70 points.
Well, maybe not them, but maybe because they actually never. I don't. That's the thing. Let's see real quick. Notre Dame's schedule, because I don't think they ever play anyone too trash. Oh, it is. Yeah, it is. It's New Mexico State, so nothing too. No, yeah, it's New Mexico. It is New Mexico. You were right. But then here's a test, though. They play at Georgia. Boy, oh boy, that's going to be a rough one.
The Irish come to town.
I'm telling you, Virginia. Boston. They don't really ever play anything too trash. That's the one thing about Notre Dame.
Michigan. Don't they have Michigan on there? University of Michigan?
Navy. There's their one team that's kind of like meh. No, they don't play Michigan this year.
They don't play Michigan?
Oh, they do. They do. Yeah, they do. There they go. So they got Michigan this year.
They got Stanford, USC, Michigan, Georgia.
Yep. Pretty tough schedule.
Hey, the midshipmen ain't easy, man.
For Bama would just roll right through them. Georgia. Sorry, they would.
Well, because they'd run up the score. Notre Dame won't do that.
Saban's like, we're playing all 3 quarters. Your starters are playing, and I want to see 50 or 40 on the board, or you're not coming out.
Do you remember a coach named Woody Hayes?
Oh, yeah.
Ohio State.
Yes. 30, 40 years there easily? So something along those lines. Him and who was the...
His famous quote, I love it, man. They were beating some team 69-0. And in the fourth quarter, they score a touchdown in the last closing minutes of the game. And Woody Hayes goes for 2.
Wow. There you go. I mean,
and in the press conference afterwards, they said, "You went for 2.
Yeah.
You're winning 78-0, and you went for 2. Why would you do that?" And Woody Hayes says,
"I wanted 80."
He goes, "Because I couldn't go for 3."
There you go. I've heard that one before. Yeah, they are. Exactly.
I love that.
There you go. Hey, if I could go for 3, I would. Imagine if they did that in the NFL. Go for 2, but they move it back to, say, the 10 or 15-yard line.
To go for 3.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that.
That'd be
Put
pretty
it
cool.
on the 25, go for another 7.
Oh, man, well, now we're really talking. Now we're talking fantasy football. All right, now let's do a little review for this week. We got a couple of big matchups. We got Texas A&M at number 1 Clemson, so that'll be a big
will
matchup.
upset them.
That'd be huge. I'd love it.
A&M's going to upset them.
I just don't like Jimbo Fisher, and he hasn't done that great with A&M to me so far, but we'll see.
I actually think he did fantastic his first year. Last year was his first year.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I'm not sold on him.
They should have beat Clemson last year. A&M got hosed last year.
Yeah, we'll see. That's Clemson's only test this year, which we'll get into in a minute. That is their only. ACC's terrible.
Yeah,
it's back to being terrible.
Exactly.
It went from being. It had a few teams there for a while. It was competing almost with
Florida,
the SEC.
Florida State used to be the team.
Well, there for a minute, and then Clemson joined them, and they always had there for a while. Miami kind of got good there for a minute. They had a few They had a few teams that would actually be ranked, but now all of a sudden it's back to that Clemson's the only team. Anyway, so Clemson's literally only test this year, so we'll literally see if they get past that.
It's done.
It should be there in the
see
championship
them in the
game.
championship game.
Yeah, or at least in the Final Four. Number 6 LSU at number 9 Texas. Now
that's being played
at Texas. Not far for LSU. You're going to have a lot of LSU fans there. SEC trap. Not that matters.
I think LSU is going to win that game.
Yeah, that's my point. LSU's not going to be stunned being at Texas. They're going to be like, "Oh, you're ranked again. Wow, good job. We've been here for the last 20 years. Where you been? 10 years ago you're here. That's right. You get my point. They're kind of going
and you
catching back up now.
And LSU's like, you call this a big stadium?
Yeah, right. We got Death Valley. Death is all I got to say. Because I remember my Felton that I lived with, he went there. They would drop racist name. Because you're right there. It's an old school stadium, so it's like War Memorial in Little Rock. stadiums now when they're built, they big gap between where the sideline, tons of room for the players. Then they have that huge gap, we're not yelling at them. And you go to LSU and they're right there.
They're right there.
Blah, 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 blah.
Well, the thing about LSU football too, even LSU, they have athletes,
big time athletes.
So even when they're not good, they're dangerous.
Good, yeah.
They're still dangerous.
Because they have athletes.
They're always a dangerous team.
And I love how those are staggered 2:30 Central Time on ABC for Texas A&M Clemson, and then 6:30 on just literally later on ABC LSU at Texas. So ABC's got the lineup for sure.
See, I won't be able to see the A&M game because Gardner will be doing his baseball stuff at Notre Dame. So
they catch the good one, another great one at night too. Top 10 teams playing each other. So another good week of football. You can't really argue with that. You got Notre Dame off.
Yeah,
Arkansas plays LSU. They already start conference play this week.
Arkansas plays who?
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
Yeah, they actually start conference play this week.
At Arkansas?
I think it's actually at Ole Miss. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So I just want to verify that real quick. Let's see here. We'll go to SEC scheduling, and yes, it is at Ole Miss. And I got to watch 2 games at once. That's at 6:30. So I'll be flipping back and forth between that and the LSU Texas game. But Arkansas at Ole Miss. Ole Miss, I forgot they lost last week. Ole Miss lost last week. Let me go through this real quick. The teams that that lost last week and who they lost to: Memphis, LSU. Ole Miss. Every year they open up against Memphis. They lost to Memphis. Yeah. Mississippi State also lost last week. Let's see who they lost to. Mississippi State. Well, they're off this. Oh, let's just go to week 1. What am I doing, Joshua?
Yeah, what are you doing, man?
All I have to do is just go to week 1. I'm on week 2, looking like going back through teams. Anyway. Georgia looked good. Alabama looked good. LSU destroyed the Georgia Southern. Yeah, here we go. Let's get to these upsets. Mississippi State barely won. That's right, over Louisiana. They only won by 10. South Carolina got beat by North Carolina, and Missouri lost to Wyoming.
Yeah, I can't believe that.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's a big.
I hadn't been sold on them, even when they had Denver just drafted their quarterback. Yeah. I'm not with Locke. I haven't been sold on them. They were just a high-flying offense that you better keep up with them. Other than that, they have no defense. You could easily score 30, 40 on them if it wasn't. Anyway, that's terrible. Anyway, let's get to it. That's this week, obviously. We did last week, this week. Now let's get to a little prediction.
Okay.
College football playoff. I'm going with it because if Clemson gets past this week, they're coasting into the playoff. Unless they get, and it would be a pretty big upset, unless Florida State, one of those teams kind of rise to the occasion. I'm going, and I am for once, I'm going to go with the majority here. I'm going to go Clemson, Alabama, Georgia, Oklahoma. Now, depending on seeding, if Alabama and Georgia don't play each other, say if it's Alabama versus Clemson and Georgia versus OU, I've got Bama versus Georgia in the final. Now, if they do end up playing each other because of seeding, I've got Bama versus Oklahoma in the final. Bama, regardless, is taking home the ship this year. So, Clemson, Georgia, Alabama, OU, Alabama, Georgia, if they don't play each other in that Final Four, in the final with Bama winning. If they do play each other, I've got Bama beating Georgia. I've got OU beating Clemson. So I got OU, Bama with Bama winning.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so Notre Dame. Are we going Notre Dame here?
Notre Dame's taking it all.
Are we really going Notre Dame this year, huh?
Notre Dame wins the national title.
All right, we're not going to pick the 3 other teams?
And the other teams will be Alabama, Clemson, Oklahoma. It will be the same Final Four that was there last year. But Notre Dame wins it.
You got it, huh?
Yeah.
You got it this year.
Yeah.
How bad was that loss last year? I can't remember.
Not as bad as they lost to Alabama.
Who?
I mean, not as bad as they beat.
That's Clemson.
Alabama lost to Clemson.
That was a head turner because Alabama was right there with it. They got up on the lead, and next thing you know, it's like they died. And Clemson.
Notre Dame played about 6 minutes of the second quarter poorly, and Clemson got away from them.
What was I forgot.
But other than that, Notre Dame.
I can't remember how. What was the? I can't remember.
I can't remember the score.
I can't remember the score either.
But they didn't lose to Clemson as bad as Alabama.
Alabama just got. It was weird. Yeah. That was so weird.
So, but there's only one caveat to that. If you're right, not next week, 2 weeks, Notre Dame goes to Athens and plays Georgia.
And so if Georgia wins, you're going with Georgia.
Correct.
Yeah. Which only makes sense.
Right. But if Notre Dame beats Georgia in Athens, Notre Dame will run the table.
I like it. Those are good predictions. I think we did pretty good there.
Yeah.
Let me go back real quick because I did forget, and I meant to send you the link. I don't think I did. The Frying Pan Tower Cam. It's called the Frying Pan. It's like about 34 miles exactly due east of about Wilmington, North Carolina.
Okay.
It's this little bitty old school platform. It's almost, has obviously, it's only 50 feet of water. So it's, the water's still in too deep there. And the reason why they built it, because there's so many shipwrecks there. And you can look them up, which is really cool. They built this lighthouse there. And finally, eventually, with modern technology, there's no use of it like any lighthouse anymore. So it's just this floating, not floating. Yeah. Anyway, it's this really cool barrier type thing. What are these? Whatever you want to call the thing, where it has a helicopter pad. It houses people back in the day. People that would say on the little lighthouse platform. Well, now someone bought it, was put on auction however many years ago. Guys, I placed a bid, didn't think I'd win. I watched a little video, $80,000, which you'd think it'd cost more than that. Boom, he's like, I didn't think I'd win, but I won with $80,000. Now it's a hotel motel type thing.
Very nice.
You can go out there on a boat. You
very
can hit
cool.
golf, because now they make biodegradable golf balls where you hit them and it's just like a golf ball, but then when it goes in the water, it dissolves and becomes fish food.
No kidding.
All kinds of cool stuff you can do out there.
That's pretty neat. I didn't know that.
Well, last night and during Hurricane Dorian, going right over the thing. Last year, Florence went over it and survived Florence. And what they do is they name the flag Steve. Last year, I think it was Kevin, maybe. This year, it's Steve. The pole is called Rod. There's a pole that holds it up. And it's about 150 feet off the ground. And there's a cam right behind it, which is crazy. The cam even stays up through all this stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty remarkable.
And the cam, you're sitting there watching it, and this thing, yesterday, as the Dorian, the eye wall is passing right by it.
Oh, wow.
And unfortunately, by the time the eye you could tell it calmed down for a little bit, because the eye was just due west of it. You could tell it was getting calmed down, but unfortunately, it was dark. It was about 8:30, so it was already dark over there. But you should have and today, you can still pull it up right now. You know what? Just for everyone, because it'll take me like 2 seconds to do it. I'll pull it up real quick.
Okay.
But it was the coolest thing. I'll send it to everyone yesterday when it was coming through. Oh, it was remarkable. Pretty
amazing.
All right, let's get to the live cam right now. Let's see how. There we go. There's the chat on the side. I need to get rid of that chat if I can.
You got to get rid of the chat, man. I don't want to read your messages.
Well, I can't. There we go. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, look at that. Still out in the open. There you go, people. You can look it up. It's online. I don't know how to get rid of the chat when you go big mode, but there you go. Look at that. It's still whipping. I mean, look, you should have seen it yesterday when the eye wall was coming through. I mean, them waves crashing out there behind it. So, and you can tell.
Listen to that.
I know.
Dang.
And it's tethered. I mean, you should see how tethered the flag is now.
Oh, man.
From being out there for literally that eye wall just passing
it just
right
took
over
a beating.
Big time. So now they'll probably auction that one off as well. But that was so cool. I meant to send you that. I was like, it was the coolest thing watching the storm. I mean, it was like, this is so cool.
That's awesome.
And there's people out there. I'm like, I can't imagine being out there, because you see the guy moving the camera around last night. And then he shows the dish. The dish has a name. I think it's Dave the Dish. They have a satellite dish on the roof. I'm like, how's the dish still there? This thing is, I mean, obviously, if you're out there, because there's a house that survived Mexico Beach. I read this last year. The big almost said F5 again, Hurricane Category 5 that came through Hurricane Michael. One stood. He said, everyone else builds up to code. That's not going to last over anything over Hurricane Category 3. He's like, I went pretty much double, triple code. He's like, mine can sustain 240 mile per hour winds. Every bit of his house is still there.
Wow.
Every bit of it from last year. And you're at 180 mile per hour winds. His house is, besides.
He's in there watching TV.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Popcorn.
Yeah. Like, these people, I try to tell them. Just spend a little extra money. You're right, like you said. Where you are, you might want to, you know what I mean? Like, you're kind of gambling here. You might want to.
Steaks on the grill outside.
Yeah. He just got everything. He's like, these people, they don't know what they're doing. All right, let's get to the big show. The NFL started last night with a boring 10-3 snoozer.
That's a very snoozer.
It's all right. Old school classic, like you like. Defensive game after the game. AA run, discount, double check. We got a defense. You played one game, and now you have a defense. Oh, by the way, you were 27th in total D last year. And oh, by the way, you played Chicago, who was 25th overall in total offense last year. I wouldn't say you have a defense quite yet. Yeah. That was Kansas City Chiefs. Okay.
Did you call him discount double check?
Well, that's what I remember, discount double check. I mean, I'll call him that for sure. He still should be doing those commercials. They were probably like, okay, but you get my point. I can't believe after the game, we got a defense. I'm like, you shut down the Bears. They were 25th overall in offense last year, and you were 27th. Anything's an improvement from 27.
You don't care for Mr. Rogers.
He's all right. I picked him in fantasy. I'm about to be done with him, because every year I'm like,
I don't care for Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, he's super overrated in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't care.
I saw a list, like I said, a couple weeks ago. It was on Instagram that someone retweeted from, like I said, like a person did it. Obviously, this wasn't a poll of people. It was one person, so one person's mind. He had him at 10. Top 10 quarterbacks of all time. He had him at 10 already. Not even close.
No,
there were other quarterbacks where I'm laughing that were behind him. I'm going, yeah, those just, I'm not even, we can bring that up, that list one day.
Yeah,
which we
that'd
should.
be a great, I'd like to go through that.
Yeah, and even have our own. We'll do our top quarterbacks of all time. And I think actually on next week's show, that's when we'll do it.
I actually think Roman Gabriel's better than.
There you go. I don't even know who this guy is.
You don't know who Roman Gabriel is?
No. What year did he play?
Google Roman Gabriel.
Oh, God.
Right now. Come on.
Roman Gabriel. That sounds like a wrestler's name.
I apologize for all football fans out there
No, that sounds like he's in the WWE.
that Josh has no idea who Roman Gabriel is.
Mr. Gabriel played for the Rams. Early 70s. You really think I'm going to know who he was unless his name is
What kind of fan are
Staubach?
you? I know who Mickey Mantle is.
Yeah, that's
I know who Babe Ruth is.
Oh, come on.
Right? I know who Ty Cobb is.
Yeah, okay, well, guess what? That would be like saying
Oh,
Bart Starr or saying like Roger Staubach.
Roman Gabriel's up there, bud.
He's no Bart Starr or he's no Roger Staubach. He's no Captain America, whatever they call Bart Starr. Staubach. I mean, anyway, are you kidding me here?
Have you heard of Babe Ruth? No.
Who's Babe? That's a candy bar, right?
You're right.
All right. Anyway, let's get to week 1 of the NFL. Started last night. Zeke's back. He's what?
Right now, Roman Gabriel's going like,
oh, he's pissed.
He's comparing me to Babe Ruth.
There you go. Staubach and Starr. We're putting names up there with him. All right, but Zeke's back. Remember you said,
can't stand it.
You said that in the midweek update, like you're excited, and now I'm like, are you excited or you're not? Because you sound like you wanted him to hit the road jack. What do you want? You want Zeke or you don't want him?
No, I think he's way overpaid. I think it was ridiculous. He should.
They caved in. They caved into him.
Oh, it's terrible.
They caved in.
That kid's a troublemaker, man.
Well, we'll speak with another troublemaker that's also. Well, we'll see if he's going to make some money this year. But man, Zeke got him a deal. Yeah, they caved in. You look at what Le'Veon Bell, and to me, Le'Veon Bell's just as good, if not more explosive, because he does more of the passing game to me.
Classic Jerry Jones.
Exactly. I'm like, the Pittsburgh Steelers, which shows you what kind of organization. They're like, we're the Steelers, the Steel Curtain. Go on, Le'Veon. See ya.
Yeah, bye.
Jerry.
Sad.
I thought you were a Razorback.
Yeah. I thought he was a negotiator.
Well, a good businessman he is. He likes to give out money.
No doubt.
All right, so let's get to some games this week. My Broncos finished the week. Well, let's get to your Cowboys. Speaking of which, they play the Giants Sunday, 3:25 kickoff on Fox. I guess you're gonna be flying back. You probably won't be able to watch it, will you?
Yeah,
3:25 to 6.
We might have to record that game and watch it when we get home.
When are you flying out? Sunday, do you know?
Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, so you might miss pretty much all of it.
Yeah, we're gonna miss that game. We'll have to record it.
Got
and watch
to.
it Sunday night. Yeah.
Got a good one though in Sunday Night Football. I'm looking forward to Sunday Night Football.
Who's Sunday Night Football?
Steelers at the Patriots.
Oh, that will be a good game.
Definitely a good one. That's probably the matchup.
They got the old man quarterbacking.
Who? The old man, Brady. Talk about another sheriff, because Peyton was a sheriff. This is sheriff number 2. This guy's getting old. Are you kidding me?
When I think quarterbacks, I think Tom Brady and Roman Gabriel.
Roman, you're in good class, my friend. You're in great class. A couple of good matchups on Monday Night Football. Nothing crazy. Broncos Raiders, that ends the week off. That's actually the nightcapper on ESPN after the Texans Saints. Texans Saints, that's the reason I say that's good. Obviously, looking forward to the Saints this year. They're right. They're the two closest teams that you can get in the NFL being close to each other. Houston, New Orleans is my point. And they're both pretty good. Texans had the D last year. You got Deshaun Watson coming back with Nuke on one side, so they're looking to go about 10-6 this year. Saints were in the NFC Championship game last year, a play away essentially with the pass interference call from being in the Super Bowl. So, point being, looking forward to Texans Patriots, and of course, then I'm looking forward to my Broncos playing because that's an old school rivalry. If you're an NFL fan, you know Broncos Raiders.
You know what I'm
back.
looking forward to this year?
What's that?
Watching the Browns in the playoffs.
And we'll see. We'll see if the dog pound can get
dog
their
pound
way back.
will be back.
They're gonna be pounding their chest, huh?
Oh yeah.
We'll see if they're back. I'll be excited. That shows you, hey, it's kind of like when Notre Dame NFL's back. When Notre Dame's thriving, in college football is at its best.
That's right.
When teams like Cleveland, especially the old Browns, are thriving and they're in the playoffs, the dog pound.
Man. That's
some fandom right there.
That's right.
They pulled their team back from Baltimore. They sucked for the last 2 decades, but now here they are still pounding away.
I can't wait, man. I hope they have a fantastic.
Let's get into predictions for the Super Bowl then.
Okay.
I'll let you think for half a second, but I already got mine, and I'm kind of going right back to where I was with college football. Not homing it and going with everyone, but I don't see much parity. First off, there's really not a lot of teams that are, unless they're going to surprise me. But these 4 teams, I think, are I wouldn't say by far the best, but 3 I think are by far the best. But 1 is going to they're always going to be around. So I've got the same AFC and NFC championship game as last year. This year I've got the Saints, obviously and I hope it's at the Rams because last year it was at the Saints and they all got screwed at home. So I hope this year it's at LA. and somehow, well, I doubt they get screwed. But I hope the Saints win at L.A. So I'm going Saints get into the Super Bowl this year, and I'm going Chiefs and the Patriots just like last year. Obviously should be another great AFC Championship game, and I'm going with the Patriots once again. I don't think Mahomes can get it done. Here's my prediction, though. Here's the major prediction of the year. Mid to late season, Gronk's back. He's had that he's starting to have that fever again. Tom's going to need his weapon. I'm thinking they're going to be about like 6-4.
You think he's coming back?
I think Gronk's going to come back.
Nah, he ain't coming back.
That's my prediction. That's my
Have you seen
bold
him?
prediction.
Have you seen him?
Yeah. He was on. He did an interview a couple days ago, and that's why that was one of the main questions.
He's skinny, right?
He's not as big.
He doesn't even look like the same guy.
He can come back.
And mentally, he's has taken a pounding.
I think mid to late season, Tommy's going to give him a call. I'm telling you. Tom's going to give him a call and say, dude, I need you. I think he's already calling him, saying, please get in top form. If I need you, I'll do everything. I'll give you a 10. We'll give you a 10. And they'll probably give him a $5 or $10 million contract just for coming back for half. I'm saying, we'll see. It may not happen, but that's my bold prediction that Gronk comes back, kind of saves the day for the Pats. I think the Pats will be about 10 games in, be about 6-4-ish. Not really all there going, man, what's up with the Pats? Then Gronk comes back. Tom's got his secret weapon. He needs that blanket. I know he's still got Edelman, but he needs that. He needs Gronk. He needs that second big guy to take. Because now I know he's got Josh Gordon, the receiver that was with the Browns, and he could be a stud this year. We'll see. But my prediction is Gronk comes back, saves the day. They take it all the way again. Brady, Pats win yet another Super Bowl. Now, I'm not surprised for sure if Chiefs win. Saints obviously win this year, or the Rams somehow pull it together, even though Gurley's kind of still coming back from an injury. I'm not sold on Goff at all, though, as a quarterback. But would not be surprised if any of those teams make it. Or should say win it all.
I wouldn't be surprised either, but you're going safe, man. You're going safe.
I'm going smart, though, too. You look at the odds. You look at I look at the schedule, especially in college football. Like, that's the reason I put Clemson there. Clemson gets past this week. They should be coasting. I mean, they play nobody. They play Arkansas the rest of the year, essentially.
I'm not going to go safe. I'm going out on a limb.
Do it. I did that already this year, and I've been screwed.
I'm going way out.
I've been out on the limb, and I've been screwed.
I already
Arkansas for the World Series, our College World Series. I went on a little bit of a limb, screwed.
Yeah,
NCAA got screwed. I've been screwed anytime.
So you're going safe.
I'm going what my head says instead of go with that gut feeling.
I'm going with my gut, man. I'm going with my gut.
And it says,
ladies and gentlemen, you're going to all be shocked this year.
Don't say the Browns.
Because the Cleveland Browns will make it to the playoffs.
And not only do that, they're going to win the Super Bowl.
They will be, yes, the Cleveland Browns are going to win the Super Bowl.
So you got Browns, I got Patriots. You're going with the worst team of the last 20 years. I'm going with the best team of the last 20 years.
I'm going with Cleveland Browns, man.
There you go.
I'm predicting the Browns, baby.
Hey, I like it. That's what's so funny.
I'm going to tell you this right now, dude. If the Washington Nationals end up winning the World Series and then the Browns win the Super Bowl,
dude,
I won't be on Stud and Dud anymore, man. I'll be on ESPN.
Oh yeah,
I'll be on ESPN going like, how'd you get your start, Doc?
Well, I first started Stud and Dud, and I was obviously the stud.
Yeah.
But hey, I like the two picks there. Now let's dive back into real quick. I know if you can pull yours up on your phone, our draft from last week.
Yeah,
I did go run discount double check with my first quarterback. Yeah. So
I'm surprised.
I know it was either him or Breeze. I didn't like it was either him, Breeze, Roethlisberger. I'm not still really sold on Deshaun Watson. So as consistent as Breeze and Rodgers are, those are the two that I wanted to go with. So those are the two quarterbacks I got. Wide receivers are Julius Jones, Michael Thomas. And then, of course, I can put in Adams, or I can put in from Green Bay from last night, Smith-Schuster from Pittsburgh, who I think is going to have a big year. But here's where I wanted to go, make sure I had someone consistent, was a tight end. I went Kelsey, Travis Kelce, because you went his quarterback, Mahomes. So that's going to counter a little bit there and help me out.
Right.
But Kelsey is just you can get a lot of points from certain tight ends. It's like getting, years when the Broncos defense, or the years where the Ravens defense was good, or years where you get a tight end, when Julius Thomas for the Broncos a few years back, or obviously Antonio Gates there for a while. You can name different tight ends. He's one of those players where you get one of those positions like tight end, kicker, and defense. Usually those guys aren't producing a lot of points. Those are, hopefully I'll get 5 to 10 out of that, out of that fantasy position. But if you get a fantasy player at a kicker, defense, or a tight end, and they're producing 15-plus points a week, or on average 15, that's a huge bonus. So that's why I went with Kelsey with tight end. And then at running backs, I got Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey for the two to be able to put in and out. Will Lutz and Los Angeles are my kicker and defense.
Yeah. I can't get into mine, man.
Can't even get in, huh?
I don't even. Yeah, I'm sitting here.
Well, let's talk about.
I can't get in, but
We need to rename your team because you're still Bob's nifty team, the generic thing they came up with. I'm Optimus Prime. I love Optimus Prime. It's usually my name when I do.
Wait a minute, man. Okay, hang on. Let me see if I can get. I can't get.
You're good. I got it. It's Pat. He's got Patrick Mahomes. So it's you've got the stud of all stud quarterbacks. Because remember, I was just telling you I did another fantasy draft last night. Guess who also was taken number 1 in the draft? Who'd you take number 1 overall in the draft? You had the very you took Mahomes.
Yeah.
So and that's another thing.
And guess who else I got? Mayfield.
Baker. Yeah, you did go Baker Mayfield. So those are your 2 quarterbacks to sub in and out.
Yeah.
And you also have your man Prescott here in Dallas.
Correct. And I got Watson.
Yep. Who's Watson? Watson.
Don't I have Watson?
No.
Who do I
Deshaun
got?
Watson?
Who do I got? Mayfield?
You have Baker Mayfield, Prescott,
and
then Dak. And
Yes.
then, your wide receivers, because this is a good combo. You got Baker Mayfield, but then you also picked up Odell Beckham Jr. So that's a good little it's a good little combo. That's why I got Michael Thomas for the receiver for the Saints, because I have Drew Brees. That combo. When you get those combos like that, like the year Manning blew up with Julius Thomas, Demaryius Thomas, and Wes Welker. And every league that year I tried, because I saw him in literally, this is back when I told you I would watch preseason. The connection, and that they weren't even running. They're shotgun almost every play, and I'm like, they're going to throw the ball 5 million times this year.
Yeah.
So in every league I went, and I saved Julius Thomas for last because no one knew who Julius Thomas was, the tight end. So I'd get Peyton Manning first. He was my very first pick that year. Then I'd go Demaryius Thomas. And then I eventually picked up in a lot of leagues, I tried to, Wes Welker if no one else did. But every league that year I had Peyton Manning, Demaryius Thomas, and Julius Thomas.
Nice.
That very first game, which I just posted on my stories, which was the 5-year, 6-year reunion when it happened, or anniversary on this date type thing, when they lost to the Ravens, who won the Super Bowl, but to the Flacco bomb, or Hell Flacco, whatever that bomb was, they beat Denver. The first year we had Peyton Manning, we were 12-4, should have won the home game, but they came in, beat us in overtime on this terrible. He just threw it was like 3rd and long. He threw his bomb up, went down the right sideline. Dude caught the ball, scored, and I'm like, everyone's like, game over. We're like, we just gave up the lead and now we lost and over. No. So the next year, very first game of the year, guess who we play? It was either Thursday. I think it was the very first. It was the very first game of the year. It was the game from last night, the Thursday Night Football. We play the Ravens. Peyton Manning goes off for almost 500 yards and 7 touchdowns. Julius Thomas and Demaryius Thomas both have 2 apiece. So everyone, literally, point being, at the very end of that draft, where it's no one's like, anyway, I drafted Julius Thomas, and that's like, and I told everyone, my sleeper pick this year, and everyone about that after that first game. F you, Jaw, because we have a huge.
Right.
They're like, how'd you? I'm like, dude, I just saw it coming. But yeah, and the Demaryius Thomas one, or I should say, both of them went on to have 10+ touchdowns that year, 1,000 receiving yards. Manning went off.
You know what? Just keep enjoying your glory days.
Oh, that was the year.
It ain't gonna happen.
My point being, back to you picking Mahomes first was the right idea. Because he's going to probably have another 40+ touchdowns. I mean, he's going to put up points.
Oh, he's going to go off.
I mean, last year he went for 50 touchdowns, so this year he's going to have probably at least 40-ish. He won't do 50 again, let's just be honest. He'll have probably 40, 45 maybe. But yeah, I mean, he's going to produce. Yeah, and that's why, just back to that, that's why I brought that up.
And I think Mayfield's going to produce too.
Oh, he will.
Yeah.
But my point, but that season, that's why you get those combos, is why I brought that up, because you have I didn't know it was going to be that big that year. Are you kidding me? I didn't think Peyton was going to throw 56 touchdowns. You get my point.
Yeah, right.
I knew it was going to be good connections between the 3 of them. But that's why you get him, because you could get that. You could get a receiver go for like 12, 14, 1,500 yards and 10+ touchdowns, and your quarterback that's, by the way, throwing to him.
Right.
So that's a double hookup. I mean, every time trust me, when they start scoring, you're boom, 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 you're just blowing up. You're getting double points, especially when they anyway. So you're pretty much going Baker Mayfield, please throw to Odell Beckham Jr. for you know what I mean? Get your running backs, though. You got Alvin Kamara, another, because we're doing points per reception. It's a PPR league, so that's a great running back out of the backfield. He's going to get a lot of receptions. You got Kamara, Le'Veon Bell, Nick Chubb, so you got some super studs there. And then as wide receivers, you got Odell Beckham Jr., as we mentioned, Nuke Hopkins down here in Houston. So you get to watch. You should watch him Monday night. There you go. There's a reason for you to watch Monday Night Football.
Right.
And that's another reation doing fantasy, kind of get you to watch other games, because now your player might be playing. So yeah, you got a nice little. And then tied in here, you got Zach Ertz. So I mean, he's gonna be Wentz's, which is funny. 2 guys that end with a Z, they're gonna be hooking up. Wentz, Ertz, both throwing to each other all year.
That's gonna be good.
Yep. So then you, I guess, got another good D. You got New Orleans as the D. Yep. Zerline as the kicker. We both went smart. We both got Zerline. I forgot they're not in the dome anymore, but we both got kickers that'll probably be in a lot of domes this year.
So.
This is good.
All right, man. Get to your dud of duds.
The
man.
dud
I got a
of
plane
dud.
to catch.
Oh, yeah. When is that?
Like right now.
That's awesome. All right. So, first off, we'll get to it next week to see who wins. U.S. Open, the tennis, the finals are this weekend. Serena, after having a baby, already back in tip-top form in the finals. So she's in the finals this weekend. And, of course, well, the semis are today for the men, but look for Rafael Nadal to.
Yeah, that's right.
He can inch closer to Federer too if he wins this, which is crazy. Stutter dud, and I can't stand this guy anymore. Antonio Crybaby Brown.
Oh my God.
So did you see this story?
Yeah.
Did you see what he did?
Yeah.
He posted something on social media.
I saw that. Yeah.
Like, oh, look at him and me. I'm a baby. Ooh. And then his boss, like he should, says, "What are you doing?" That's not, confronts him about it. Then of course he goes from this to man, and starts yelling at him.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, threats to hit him. And then punts a ball pretty much right in his face and says, "Find me for that." Like a baby, like a 4-year-old would say to your mom or your dad, like, "Oh, I'm going to bet on that.
Yeah, why
I'm gonna go back to timeout. Good baby, good timeout now." Like, what are you? You're an NFL player who's supposed to get made. What are you?
Well, that's the problem, man.
The world we live in.
Yeah.
So from the shoe feet issue or helmet first or whatever it was, just the shoulder pad. I don't even know what all he's got going on. So now this dude is a punk. Talk about punks and babies. And
where do you go to school? Where do you go to
college?
Yeah.
Where did he?
I don't know.
Let's look that up because I know you were kind of. Let's look this up real quick. Antonio Brown. Where did you go to school at, brother? And I've seen this before. God, where did he go to school at? Oakland Raiders, raised in Miami. Brown attended Miami High School. Oh, Central Michigan.
Is that a white university?
Oh boy, here we go. Here we go. But he did go to Central Michigan, so now we know. All right. How about next week's show?
Yes.
Recap review again.
Okay.
Week 1 of the NFL and see how we did.
right.
Who won week 1 of fantasy football between me and you. We'll be recapping that
that's gonna be
every
fun.
week.
Oh yeah.
Every week. Looking to get another guest on soon.
Yes, we are.
Got a chef,
I think
a
we
former NFL player.
We've got a former NFL player. We got a chef lined up.
Oh, man,
I
I
just don't
can't-
know the exact dates yet. But
That's good. We got, and then I've got a couple of lined up as well.
Good.
And time. We're gonna do this next week. Speaking of which, we kind of brought it up earlier. Mount Rushmore of our favorite quarterbacks, running backs, and wide receivers. Not our favorite, but the top. Who is the Mount Rushmore? Who belongs on the Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks?
Roman Gabriel.
You get my point. Who belongs on the Mount Rushmore of running backs? Who belongs on the Mount Rushmore of wide
Floyd
receivers?
Little.
Oh, I like that one, baby. All right. Let's go, Broncos. All right.
I keep going back to
I know,
the
right?
archives.
Yeah,
man.
you do. I like it.
You ask your dad if he knows Roman Gabriel. He'll go,
Oh,
heck
shit,
yeah, man, I know
he
Roman
will. Are you kidding me? Let's call him right now. I'm just kidding. They're like, "Oh, Roman, I remember a game in 1973.
Yes.
He literally will bring up a game that he remembers most.
Right.
Oh, man. But yeah, we'll have that and much more. But let's get those Mount Rushmores ready. I'll kind of tease you about it again on Wednesday when we do the midweek update. But we'll definitely get those ready. All that and much more. Don't forget to subscribe, iTunes, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Spotify. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and StudandDud.com. That's like 10 places to find us.
I mean,
you
I was
kidding me?
counting, right?
That's a lot of places to find Stud and Dud. We got like 1,000 listeners. We're growing. All around all the platforms. We're about 1,000 listeners
I
now.
love it.
We're growing. We're growing, baby. All that, much more next week. Until then, I'm Josh Smith.
Bob Lawrence.
Peace.